Yo, what up everyone, this is J Fuzz Type Beat. In today's video we're talking about the first time smoking weed. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Before we hop in the video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the recent support in the videos. We have about 1,000 views in the shorts and about 200 views on the actual videos. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the recent support. So let's just hop right into it. So first time smoking weed. Pretty crazy story. Actually, I mean, it's not that crazy, but good story, banger story. So pretty much I was in 10th grade. I was in high school. So to preface the story, I didn't really hear about weed until I was really like 14, 15 years old, to be honest with you. Just never was really around or heard about it. I don't know. Basically, my older brother was doing it, and he got caught, and I heard something about it. I kind of looked it up on the internet and found out what it was. And ever since then, I kind of wanted to try it, you know? So, basically, I'm in 10th grade. I had this friend, we're going to call him Cheech, and we have his other friend, Chong, if you guys get the reference. But, Cheech was one of my homies in 10th grade. I met him through another friend. So I'm in this class. Now this kid smokes hella weed, hella weed in high school. Now I was just straight laced, didn't do anything at all. Literally played video games, played Minecraft and everything. Funny, but I have Minecraft gameplay in the background. Hope you guys enjoy. But yeah, so I'm in 10th grade. I remember sitting in this class. So basically, how I kind of got into it and actually smoked it for the first time was sitting in this class, and me and Cheech sat together, and this was chemistry class, and we do labs together, and he would always talk about weed. He's like, dude, you should try. I'm like, no, I don't really know what that is. And he kind of explained to me. I'm like, how does it make you feel? He's like, well, it makes you kind of feel like in the clouds. Makes you kind of feel good. It's a fun time. And now, I knew that I was not allowed to do this at the time, right? I was a younger kid, in 10th grade. My parents would not be chill with it. Now, I've only parents different. I knew my parents weren't going to be chill with it. So, we would just talk about it all the time, and it kind of just, piqued interest in it, especially after I heard my brother did it. So, I'm in this class, after doing so many labs and talking about it for so many times. He kind of really convinced me. He's like, dude, maybe we should go into town, because we would hang out in town. And he's like, maybe we should go into town and smoke. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm down. Let's make it happen. So, I remember this. We're in chemistry class, and pretty much how we made it into a plan was just sitting there, and he's like, dude, you should really try it. This is after weeks of talking about it. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. He was like, all right, we're going to meet up in town. We'll go, I'm like, where do you guys usually go to smoke? He's like, well, we can go anywhere. He's like, well, let's go to this back path and kind of this hidden area in town, and we'll smoke back there, and then right after go fishing. So, pretty much, now this is the beginning of the story. I get dropped off into town. I tell him this normal thing, because I usually bike in town and hang out with some friends in there. So it wasn't like an out of place thing of me just hanging in town. So my mom drops me off. I get dropped off. I meet up with Cheech and Chong. Now the reason I call them Cheech and Chong is because they're a dynamic duo. They would always hang out together. They always smoke. Just do crazy shit. So I knew that this would be a perfect name for them. But I knew that they had the supply, and I was going to have a good time, at least based on what they're saying. So, we go into town, we go near the river, hanging out, chilling, talking. He's like, all right, you ready to smoke? And I'm like, you know what? I mean, screw it. Let's do it. So, basically, I have my town set up. I'm not going to dox myself or anything like that, but you have normal stores. There's a Dollar Tree or some basic store. And then there's this back path near a river, right? And people go fishing over there. There's some benches over there. People relax. So we're on this back path. I believe they brought their fishing poles. They brought their fishing poles everywhere. They love fishing. So that was their main excuse when they went to smoke. Was like, hey, Mom, Dad, can I go fishing? Sure. So they drop them off in town. So I just told my mom I was paying on my parents. With my excuse, I didn't bring a fishing pole. So I go out there. We start fishing. Oh, well, they start fishing. I kind of start talking to them, and I'm like, I'm kind of nervous at this point. I knew this is something that my parents were being going to be frowned upon, but I knew I had to hide it. So I was like, all right, screw it. This is the first time where I'm really going to be not straight laced anymore, to put it the best way to put it. So they're fishing and everything, and then they're like, all right, it's time to smoke. So we start walking down this path. Um, and so you got like the Dollar Tree, whatever store it is. And then you keep walking, you get these more buildings. We're behind all these buildings, but it's like a decent like grassed area, path area, right? So we keep walking, keep walking. Now you have the post office, and then next to the post office is abandoned building. So we now we're like where the path is like all behind the post office, all the buildings, the Dollar Tree, and everything. So keep walking down, and you have the abandoned building and the post office. The abandoned building's to the right if you're looking at it from the path, the back path, and the post office is to the left. So, right where the abandoned building is, there's like this small little like dirt path that leads to the abandoned building. It's just like literally like a small empty warehouse. I'm talking like, bro, the building is so small. It's like basically like a barn, if you want to put it that way, like this metal barn. Best way to describe it. It's not that big. It's small. I think maybe it was like some small little warehouse for tools or something in town. But there's a dirt path to the front of the building, but there's all this overgrown like trees and bushes, and you couldn't see in it. So you're really just secluded next to this building. So you go walk through the dirt path. Oh, I remember this so specifically. It brings back so many memories. So you walk through this dirt path, and now the building's to the right of me. The abandoned building's to the right of me. And you kind of get like in this kind of cubby hole. There's like this stone brick wall that's probably about like 5-6 feet high with dirt and bushes all around it. So you're kind of secluded. You could kind of see the post office to the left of you when looking through the bushes, but you'd really have to focus in to see us, right? I'm kind of a little nervous. Like I said, I'm straight laced, so I've never been into any situation like this. Not even situation, but like done anything like this, so I was nervous. So I remember they brought out a bowl. I don't remember what the bowl looked like or anything like that, but I remember it was just a basic bowl. They pull it out, start loading the product in there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, how do you, they're like, all right, let's smoke. So get a lighter, they light up, and they're smoking it, and blow a massive cloud out. I'm like, I've never like really smelled it. I was like, oh my god, that's like, it smells like a skunk. He's like, yeah, man, that's the smell of it, man. I'm like, oh wow. It brought back so many memories when I was younger about how many times I've smelled it, like just walking in public and everything. So I'm like, okay, this is a pretty common smell. So I wasn't as nervous at that point because I knew that, like, society has done it. It's not like I'm just doing like horrible drugs, if you know what I mean, But definitely, I knew that it was not the greatest thing to be doing at that moment, especially how my parents would be. But so I remember Cheech took the first hit. Chonks took the second hit. Now it's my turn. They give me the bowl. I'm super nervous at this point, right? Even though I said it was a little bit relaxed. I immediately when I got handed the bowl, dude, I was hella nervous. I did not know what to do. Now, to describe a bowl, there's a carburetor on it. You have a little hole that you put your finger on, and then you light it and you suck in, right? If you don't put your finger on that hole, it doesn't make it so the only airway through the bowl is through the where the weed is to suck in the smoke, right? So if you don't put your finger on the carburetor, right, I believe that's what it's called, carb, or at least that's what I call it. If you don't put your finger on it, then you can't suck in smoke. You just kind of suck in air and barely get any smoke. It limits airflow only through the weed, so then you're getting all the smoke through there, right? The best way to describe it. They're like, oh my guys, what do I do? What do I do? And Cheech is like, he starts laughing his ass off, and he's like, you don't know what to do, man? I'm like, nah, dude, like, it's my first time, like I said. And it really kind of hit them, like, yeah, this is really, like, we're actually breaking his weed virginity here, So, he's like, all right, and he took my hand, he, like, put his finger, he's like, see that hole, you put your finger over it, right? You take your finger over it, and then you suck in. And I'm like, how do I do that? I'm like taking the lighter. I'm all like dumb with the lighter. I don't really know what I'm doing. Kind of like banging a certain way. I'm like burning my finger. And I'm like, how do I do this? She's like, you know what? I'll light it for you. Just put your finger on it. I'm like, okay. So I put my finger on the carburetor, right? I'm sitting there. And I'm like, all right, light it. So he lights it. And I'm like, I take my hit. I blow it out. And I'm like, what am I supposed to feel, guys? I'm like, Cheech and Chong, what am I supposed to feel? And they're like, well, dude, it's not gonna hit you like right now, like instantly. Like, let's take a few more hits. So we take another round. They take their hits. Cheech takes their hit. Chong takes their hit. My turn. They take the lighter. Same thing. I put my finger on the carburetor. They light it for me. And right, smoke another hit. Now at this point, I don't really feel anything. Right. Fast forward like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Don't really feel anything. I believe they took a few more hits, and I was like, nah, dude, I'm good. I don't want to like get too high or like that. So I remember the whole time, man, they were laughing their ass off because they thought it was hilarious how I was just oblivious on what to do. Meanwhile, they've been smoking for years, right? So they're experienced. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I'm just sitting there, like, enjoying the moment, right? But, like, they're laughing, and I'm kind of getting a little paranoid. Like, why are they laughing about all this? Like, it's not that funny. But all of a sudden, I remember this. I have this, like, sudden wave of, like, relaxedness that hits my, like, chest, shoulder area, because I'm always very tense in the shoulders. So, like, I remember I felt very relaxed. Kind of was just, like, mellowed out. But I was still like regular me. I wasn't in my head or like that. I was just like relaxed, but I kind of felt like a little bit in the clouds a little bit. Like, best way to describe it. Basically, I felt like I was, like, all my muscles were super relaxed, but my head was still there, as in like I was sober in the head, but my body was high, right? Now, it could have been an indica, I don't know. So, I mean, at this point, indicas and all that stuff, like, this was before it was legal and everything in the state. I knew, like, obviously, like, you don't really know what the strain is unless you're really into that stuff, but that's besides the point. So, I'm starting to feel very relaxed, my body, and I start kind of like laughing about like stupid shit because they're laughing, I start laughing, so they start laughing more. Like, dude, why are you laughing? I'm like, I don't know what's so funny. And like they're like start laughing, like, dude, you're stoned. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I barely even feel it. Like, I'm thinking in my head I barely feel it, but little do I know I actually am, right? So they pack all this stuff up. Like, all right, let's start. I'm like, what do you guys do now? Like, oh, we usually start fishing. So we start fishing, kind of follow them around, and I'm freaking out. Now, I brought a bag with me. I forgot to state this. Brought a bag with me. I brought some water. They said bring some water. Brought some water, bottled water. I brought cologne. Bought like Axe cologne, like a little like high schooler would. I brought like a small little hoodie with me, just to have something to put on, because I knew that the smell was potent, so I had to have something to cover the smell. So if I had at least have cologne and a new jacket to put on, then at least that's going to cover the main smell. Because then again, when you're smoking inside, you really don't smell. It's mainly your breath. I believe, I don't know if I brought any gum. Oh, no, what I usually do is when I bring like a bottle of water, I'll bring something that like, I don't know, like lemonade or something that cover my breath, because I feel like if I drink the whole bottle of lemonade, then it's not going to make my breath smell. I don't know. That's just, I mean, that's sort of logic, but I don't really know. So we walk out that kind of cubby here near the abandoned building. We walk near the path. So now we're on the path. We'll walk around the path, and there was like this like little stone area of like this where this pipe would go through. I don't really know what you call it, but like maybe a drainage pipe or something, massive drainage pipe. And that's where they kind of fish near, right? So they're on that like that stone part with the drainage part, and I remember I hopped on the fence, because there's a fence to where like the stone part is, right where the path is, and I'm just sitting on the fence, pretty like decently tall fence. So I'm just kind of wobbling on there, and I start like laughing about everything, but like me doing anything was just stupid. I didn't really know, like at this point, I didn't know I was high, but I was high, and I was just acting like I was just doing stupid shit I've never done before. Like to hop on the fence, it was just stupid how I did it. Like I remember, like I don't know, it wasn't smart on how I did it. I was just clapped, you know. Like this is the best way to describe it. But I didn't know I was, you know, because I didn't really know how to feel, how it felt. So they're fishing and fishing and fishing, and one of my other friends, what are we gonna call him? We're gonna call him we're gonna call him G. All right, just gonna call him G. So G, he comes over. So Cheech, Chong, and G. Um, G comes over and he's like, "Dude, did you smoke, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he starts laughing. He's like, I believe at this point this was like the first time he smoked too. So when G was over, like chilling with us, he was talking about his experience, and I was talking about how I just did it, and we're kind of like both paranoid, talking about like, oh, what do you think your mom's gonna think? I'm like, she's not gonna find out. Like, I can't let her find out, especially if she's picking me up, right? Even though I'm right in town, I could walk home. At this point, like when I would hang out, it would be you hang out in your spot and your parents pick you up. Even though how far or close away it is from home, you chill at that spot until you get picked up. So I start, we start kind of, they say fishing. Fast forward 30 minutes to an hour, they still fishing. I don't know, I believe we went to another fishing spot, and I'm just following them around the whole time. Trying to, like, nervous. Like, I'm peeking everywhere to see if, like, is my mom here? Like, meanwhile, like, she would never do that. Like, what if she's, like, peeking, looking at all of us right now? Or, like, what if I see someone I know and I'm high and it's my first time high? I'm overthinking things, but I'm also, like, in my head, I don't think I'm overthinking things. I'm just naturally thinking that. That makes any kind of sense. Basically, like, I'm high, overthinking, but I feel like I'm still, like, the normal me, like the just sober me. Because you think, at least for myself, I think a little bit differently when I'm high than when I'm sober, right? So we're at a different fishing spot. We kind of go there for a little bit of an hour or so. So we're hanging out for about 2-3 hours after I smoked, right? After we all smoked. Eventually, G goes back home. He's like, I remember him like, he's like, yo, be safe, man. Hope everything goes alright. You don't get caught and like that. I'm like, hell yeah. So, we go back to the normal fishing spot behind like the Dollar Tree, whatever store it is, and the Ben building. We're kind of in that area, like where that stone brick drainage pipe is. We're chilling there. They're like, it kind of hits a certain point. I don't remember what time it was, but I remember it was evening time. It was probably around like 3, 5 o'clock. So that's around dinner time ish. And I'm like, guys, I'm probably gonna dip out soon. Like, you sure, man? Like, you good to go, man? I don't want anything to happen to you. And then all of a sudden it comes back to me. My parents find out about us smoking. So like, you good, man? I'm like, yeah, I should be good. So in the course of this time, I forgot to say this, but in the course of me time walking back and forth between different fishing spots and everything, I chugged the other, like, I think it was lemonade or something, or Snapple or something that I was drinking. I drank that to cover the smell. I remember spraying myself with Axe cologne, putting a new jacket on. I'm thinking I'm good, and I'm like, now thinking back on it, I'm like, why the hell did I put, like, I put cologne on. I do that, like, not on a daily basis, but I do put cologne on at least like once or twice a week. But like, why the hell am I spraying this on me? That clearly my mom's gonna think of something when I just hop in the car and I smell like Axe. Like, whenever, like, pro tip, guys, whenever you're smoking for the first time or anything like that, don't litter yourself with freaking cologne, man. That's just not freaking smart. Like, clearly you're doing something, like like they drop you off smelling normal and you come back reeking like cologne. Like, I know you want to cover the smell, but like, then again, thinking back on it too, is me walking around, it being windy out and walking around for hours. I'm don't smell anymore. When you smoke outside, you barely smell. If you're smoking in a closed area, that's a different story. But so they drop me off, drop me off. I'm chilling at the. Sorry guys, I'm chilling at the river, and I'm like, guys, I need to get picked up. Like I said, I put my new jacket on, spray cologne myself, drank the whole Snapple or lemonade or whatever. And eventually my mom pulls up. Now I remember this. Mom's like, all right, I'm gonna head over. I kind of get a little shaky in my boots. I'm like, I don't know, really. Like, I don't think I was high at this moment. I believe I was like pretty relaxed, and I believe it pretty. I felt like the more my philosophy. Now this is kind of stupid, but also kind of true. But the more I walk around, the more shit I do in this time of me being in quotes high. At least I think I'm high. Maybe I just had the placebo effect. That the more I walk around and do things, the less I'll be high by the time my mom picks me up. Right? That's my philosophy. So like during this whole course of time, me fishing and everything, I was like walking around, doing shit, jumping around, just doing random shit to keep my mind occupied to get kind of wear off the high. At least that's what I think is I'm doing. Right? So my mom pulls up. Now I remember this. I'm walking to the car like I'm all like nervous, but I don't feel high anymore. And then like I remember this. Right before I open the door, something hits me where it's like, dude, you never smoked before. Mom's not gonna know. Like, there's no way she's gonna know. Like, you're innocent. Don't think anything of it. Don't even think that you smoke. Just pretend like you act like your friend, with your hanging with your friends. Like, she doesn't. I've never smoked before, so like, she's not gonna expect all of a sudden like hop in the car you smoked. You know, like you just overthinking it. Just hop in the car, you'll be fine. So, excuse me. So, I hop in the car. I sit in the front seat, or in the passenger front seat, right? Clearly, passenger seat. And Mom was like, "Oh, how was your day?" And I'm like, "Oh, we went fishing and everything. Oh, that's cool. Well, what did you fish with?" I'm like, "Oh, my friend says fishing poles and this and that." And I kind of limit my words and keep them so I couldn't mess up or like sound stupid, or I didn't want to say the wrong thing and all of a sudden like she looks over like, "Hey, what did you say?" Like kind of thing. So I'll keep my words very limited, speaking smart, the best way to say it, like, and eventually, I don't think she thought, based on when I talked to my mom, I don't think she thought anything of it. She didn't think I was high or like that. But again, this happened so many times where I got dropped off. I mean, I didn't even smoke. I just got dropped off, hung with them. So, like, who knows? But at least that's what she said. She didn't really expect anything. Like, she didn't suspect anything of me smoking. So, then I get dropped off back home. At this moment, like, when I got dropped off and, like, kind of sat in my room and everything, dude, I wasn't high. Like, at least I didn't think I was. It wasn't high. And I remember taking a shower because I felt like that was going to, like, okay, let me get in my room, take my clothes off real quickly, and take a shower. Like, let me limit the amount of, like, just the exposing of my clothes that I smoked in, as in, because I'm wearing a jacket over it. If I take all these clothes off quickly, put in the hamper, like, stuff it towards the bottom of the hamper, and then hop in the shower, it won't smell. So I do that, take a shower. I remember probably hopped on Minecraft or some similar game like that and started playing. And that was end of the night, and like I had school the next day or something, or it was a weekend. But yeah, that is the first time smoking weed, guys. Pretty basic, not crazy story. I mean, even though I said it was a crazy story in the beginning, but pretty basic story. Cheech, Chong, and G were all great friends at the time. Not really friends with them anymore. Cheech disappeared. As in, he just stopped talking to friends in high school and literally just wouldn't talk to people anymore. And I guess maybe found a new friends list, just kind of did his own thing after high school. But yeah, and then after that point, I would smoke with them many, many times again. It was a great time, awesome time, great friends. But yeah, that is the time. Smoked with Cheech, Chong, and G. Well, G didn't smoke, but he hung out. And if there's any advice I can give you guys, it's pretty much first time smoking, make sure you're doing it with the right people, because it's always going to be a memory you remember it with. Have friends that are there to support you and not there to, like, let's just get them as baked as possible. Like, make sure they want to cover your back, too. Like, oh, do you need water? Like, make sure you bring water. Like, make sure they have your back, because that's really important. You don't want to be, like, blasted your first time and you're sitting there, like, all super paranoid. Because, like, most of the time me hanging out with them, they would calm me down. Like, dude, you're fine, dude. Don't worry about it. Like, so I was covering that interview. So make sure you guys, if you ever smoke for the first time, make sure you're doing it with the right friends. It's just weed. Like, another thing, it's just weed. Don't worry about it. Make sure that, like, at the end of the day, like, if you get caught or something like that, like, from your parents, Now my main thing is you work hard, you play hard, right? If you do, you work 60 hours a week or you're crushing grades in school, then if you're smoking, then there's like, what can your parents say? You know what I mean? Like, what are they gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, doing everything you're supposed to. Now you just smoke a little weed, you're exploring life. Plus, you're younger. It's gonna happen anyway. So that's the main thing. Is first time smoking weed, like I stated. Make sure you're doing with the right friends. Make sure you work hard and play hard. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, so they don't have anything to complain about. Um, and also just enjoy it, man. Like you're young. Like at the end of the day, like looking 10 years back, it's not gonna matter if you get in trouble or like that. Like you're gonna move on, and it was a great experience. And everyone's gonna experience it at least once in life. I mean, what is it like? It's like 80% of Americans have smoked. Like, dude, it's so common. But yeah, that's the first time I smoked. Hope you guys enjoyed. Appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate the recent support. Drop a like in the video. Comment Creative Bananas if you are at this point in the video. And have a great day, everyone. Peace.